James, tell us a little bit about yourself and why this is a topic that interests you.
I'm a minister in the Anglican Church and currently work for an Anglican mission agency called CPAS, and my role is leadership development. So I spend quite a lot of my time working with people to think about how can we grow leaders of all ages. But over the last 10 or 12 years, much of my focus has been on the younger generations, particularly through something we call the Arrow Leadership Programme, where we focus on 25 to 40-year-olds, and then more recently through something we call Growing Leaders, which is trying to help churches think through how do we grapple with this issue that we want to grow younger leaders, where are they, how do we do it, what's the best way forward. So I suppose over the last 10, 12 years, this has been probably the main focus of my work. I'm very passionate about it. It's got some challenges, but really looking forward to the conversation with you.
Okay. So is there an issue? Would you say there are fewer younger leaders now than there were, 30 years ago?
Yes, on one level, that's clearly the case because there are actually fewer young people in our churches.
Okay.
On another level, of course, there are plenty of young people who are leading. They may be Christians who are leading in the workplace or in their communities, but are maybe a little less reluctant to lead within gathered church life. And on another level, we've got an issue with the fact that we have young people who are passionate about a variety of different things, but those passions don't necessarily always connect with how they view the local church today.
Okay, so how about getting us going? What do you think are some of the factors for the reason for this decline in young leaders in church?
I think we could look at it from two angles. So if we can look at it, first of all, from the young people's angle, I think there are a number of things that no one of them on their own probably would be sufficient, but combined together have led to this sort of decline in young people in leadership. So let's start with the first one. In the 1970s and 80s, a number of things that had been happening in the past that had been avenues for people to grow in leadership actually began to sort of decline. And that led to a period in the 70s and 80s where less and less people were being encouraged into leadership development. And what has happened is that has rippled on. So we've got this big gap in the life of the church where missing generation, some people speak of it as, there are fewer young people in our churches, particularly in that 20s and 30s age group. When you get fewer young people of that age group, the next generation below them don't have immediate models to follow. And so it becomes a sort of vicious cycle. Yeah. I think another factor is that in some ways the church has become more marginalised. It's no longer at the centre of society in the ways that it may have been in generations gone by. And therefore for younger people who maybe want to be on the cutting edge of stuff, they see leadership in the church as less attractive because they see the church not on the cutting edge, but on the edge of everything. And so they're less interested in actually giving their lives, committing themselves to working within church life, to actually be about something which they're a little bit concerned is not really where they want to be at. Right. And that means that the energy, the passion and the drive, which they may well have, is going elsewhere. Now, in one sense, there's not a problem. Great if as Christian people they're leading well in other places. But in church life, this demise of younger leaders is having an impact on the energy, passion, vision, and ability to connect with the younger generation that we so passionately need today for our effectiveness in mission.